week was 200 pounds. This week, 196.4. Dieting on Thursday of last week, so it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So today just started, so 6 days, technically 5 days, and I'm down already about 3.5 pounds, roughly. So the goal was 3 pounds a week, and that's kind of above where I wanted to be at, which I'm okay. I feel like I'm definitely tighter than I was, last week, hands down. Day to day, I'm seeing changes. It's hard, it's hard launching into a prep. We'll get to that in a second. Let's do a quick physique update. We haven't done one of these in quite a while. All right, let's hit this one here. I didn't see the legs, but not that legs really matter for bodybuilding, but you guys know the drill. Anyways, so I'm about 3 weeks out from the show itself, and about 2.5 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out from the show itself, and about 2.5 weeks out from the photo shoot for Primeval and the video shoot for Primeval, which was the main goal. And I just always feel like I have to challenge myself. I didn't have anything coming up. I saw everybody getting ready for shows this season and stuff, and starting their summer shreds and stuff like that. And I didn't really have a goal, so I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna kind of do my thing. And then this opportunity presented itself. It made no difference about it. Excuse me, I just woke up a few minutes ago. This is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to do something that no one else on YouTube is doing. I'm not saying no one else has ever done it in the world, but on YouTube, everybody's taking these 16 week diets and 20-week diets and taking all this time to get in shape. And I always say, if you stay within shooting range of your contest weight, you don't have to do these long preps. So year round, honestly, I think I stay in pretty much better shape than a lot of these guys. So I don't need 16, 18 weeks. Excuse me. Allergies are killing me this morning. I don't need 16, 18 weeks. I can do this in 4 weeks, which I've done before, and I'm obviously doing again. So for me, I'd rather do short preps than do these long, drawn-out preps that take, half your fucking summer or half your spring or whatever, and you miss out on things. Like this weekend, I have a christening. My friend's son is being christened, and I'm gonna go do that. I'll still stay on my diet and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna miss things for the show. I'll have my food with me. It's only gonna take a few hours, so I just probably won't eat anything while I'm putzing around over there, and I'll eat afterwards. It's really not a big deal. So I know that right now my carbs, I cut them down because I had to launch right into prep. So there's no easing into it. There's no gradually cutting down. It was eating this, then launch right into prep. And what I did was, I don't really count my macros or calories, so I wasn't really sure what to take in. So what I did was just basically start cutting certain foods back, like my carbohydrates. Instead of eating the full serving that came in Nutrition Solutions, I'd eat half the serving. Now I'm down to about a quarter of the serving. So I was cutting the carbs by not really even counting them, which you can still do that. You don't have to count every single macro if you're eating the same stuff every day. If you're eating every day the same foods, nonstop, day in, day out, and it's the same amounts every single day, and you have a company like Nutrition Solutions that makes it for you and it's already weighed and prepared, all you have to do is just simply eat a little bit less of that meal per time, and you're automatically cutting the carbs, aka calories, whatever you want to say, however you want to say. I specifically go after the carbs because the fats are fairly low. And I'd say right now it's about roughly, I tracked it in MyFitnessPal the other day to see where I was at, about 200 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, and about 65 grams of fat. That's where I'm sitting at right now. Now my off, when I'm not training for a show, I'm eating roughly around 250 to 300 grams of carbs a day, 220 grams of protein, and my fats probably stay about the same. The fats didn't really change. So I'm eating slightly less protein. It's not by design, it's just because I've actually eaten less meals in general. When I start prepping, sometimes I'm just not hungry. Sometimes I'm very hungry and I fight through it. Sometimes I'm not hungry and I don't worry about it. It just depends on what I feel like doing and how my body's responding. So what I basically try to do now is make sure that my skin gets super thin like this everywhere. I can get my skin like that on my lower back. I know I'm exactly in shape. So I know that I'm going to be in shape. Am I going to be in my best shape? I hope so. That's not a definite, that's not a given, it's not absolutely a positive that I'll be in the best shape I've ever been in. Will I be in contest shape? Yes. Will I be able to go on stage and compete? Yes. Is that the goal? Yes. What really is my best shape? I thought I looked my best at Team Universe. Other people will say I looked better last year, like, you know, around the 195 mark. Last year it was 176 for Team Universe. It just depends. So I'm figuring that if I can get down to about 192, I'll see where I look there, because I know it's a very full look, and I'm muscular and I'm lean. So it's only about, you know, another 6 pounds. So a couple more weeks I'll be down there. If I really push it, I mean, I've just definitely stepped up the cardio also. So I usually do 10 minutes 4 times a week. I'm now doing cardio. Certain days I'm doing twice a day, 20 minutes. Days that I'm not training with weights, I'm doing 45 minutes fast right first thing in the morning. Day like today, I'm doing 40 minutes after my workout total. It's a little bit different than what I would normally do. I mean, this is definitely not how I would approach a prep, but it's in a different circumstance. You know, this is a very specific set of circumstances that I'm going through, that I need to be, you know, in contest shape faster, so drastic measures have to be taken. And even though they seem drastic to, you know, some people are like, oh man, 40 minutes of cardio from nothing, you know, 10 minutes, like whatever, it's only for 3 weeks, it's only for 4 weeks. Like, if you can't sustain that for 3 to 4 weeks and get on stage, you should not be doing this sport. If you can't sacrifice for that small amount of time, because there are guys out there sacrificing, they may not be doing cardio, but they're cutting their calories for 18 fucking weeks. If you can't sacrifice this, then you shouldn't be on stage. You just don't fucking do it. Don't disrespect the stage, the sport, the fucking other competitors. Don't be disrespectful. Just don't fucking do it if you can't sacrifice. I mean, that's my take-home message. But you can. Everybody can. I can. I am. And if I can do it, then you can do it. So let's get the first meal in Nutrition Solutions pancakes, and then I got a bunch of shit to do. I got to mail a care package for my buddy Henry back home up in Rhode Island. Got a few things to do, and then we'll hit the gym. We got to do chest and shoulders today. I'm gonna try to film it even though it's at export. We'll try to kind of hide the camera in my backpack and see if we can pull that off. So let's get this fucking day started and get to it. Something that I'm currently doing right now that I actually came up with this like about 4 years ago. My ex-girlfriend, I actually used to train her, and I'm not saying anybody else has never done this, but I do this for a very specific reason. It's warm out today. It's about 78 degrees, and I'm putting on a hoodie. I'm gonna leave the hood up, and I call this hoodie training. Literally, my ex-girlfriend, when she started dieting for competition, she would get a little kind of bummed out that the results don't come that fast in the beginning. And what happens is, like, sometimes you look worse, like you flatten out and you look worse before you look better, and there are days where you look better and days where you look worse, and it kind of goes back and forth until you finally get to the show. So what I did was I put her in a hoodie for like the first like about 12 weeks. I think we did a 16-week plan. 12 weeks she trained in a hoodie. What that does is not allow you to see what you look like in the gym. What you look like at home and what you look like in the gym are two completely different things. Anybody that's ever competed will tell you that. And it can mess with your head, because you can look really good in the gym, and then when you get home you feel like you look like shit, like you lose the pump. Sometimes you retain a little water because it was a hard workout. It changes. As soon as you walk through the door, your body changes, and it can really fuck with your head, and it can, you know, kind of throw you off track. You can kind of get depressed and kind of people cheat on their diet, etc., whatever the case may be. That's not my problem. What my problem is, usually I have a bad time responding to positive reinforcement. So if I think I look good, I'm much more likely to pull back and not push as hard than if I look bad. And when I'm looking better and better, it's hard for me to stay motivated while I'm looking better. I know it's the opposite of what most people do, but the best way to motivate me is to tell me that I suck, I look bad, I look terrible, which the comment section is probably going to fucking light up right now. But the worse I'm doing, the more motivated I get. Now, I can't really do that with myself and tell myself how bad I look, because, you know, then you get down on yourself. It's different when it's coming from you than someone else. But if I hide the way I look when I'm training in the gym, I can't see. Therefore, I push harder because I can't see, because I automatically assume what's happening under there is behind. I'm behind. I'm not doing as well. So therefore, it kind of keeps me motivated to go further, rather than thinking, wow, you know, I look great under there. It's like, fuck, you haven't seen what you look like in the gym yet. So you're like, fuck, I look like shit. So therefore, I just stay covered up. So I'm going to do hoodie training probably for the next week or two. And then when you pull the hoodie off, it's like a phenomenal change, because the big changes have happened. Like, I'm already down almost 4 pounds. I'm down another 4 pounds in the next week and a half. There's a drastic difference in my physique, and all of a sudden when you're at the gym, everything pops and this thing's splintering and there's veins popping out. Like, it's a drastic difference that you never even saw coming, and that is super motivational going into the last couple of weeks. like 2 or 3 weeks before a show, when you're seeing those huge changes, that's even more motivating because you came so far in such a short period of time. You just want to keep going. You're like, oh fuck, how far can I push this? How good can I get? And that's the whole basis behind the hoodie training. I've used it with a lot of clients in the past. Like I said, I don't know if other trainers do it. I just kind of decided that that's what we were going to do with her, and I kind of applied it to my other clients and stuff and kept it like that. So I'm going to do hoodie training today. I'm going to sweat my fucking ass off. I know I am. I'm going to feel like death, but it really fucking doesn't matter, man. 3 weeks worth of sacrifice is, you know, nothing compared to what a lot of people do for a lot of things. So we're going to go walk Brady, and then we're going to head to the gym and do chest and shoulders.
All right, boy. Go this way, come on. Go right to the right. Atta boy. Good job. I see you. I'm right here. See people? Where's the people? Come on. Atta boy.
Responds really well to commands and stuff now. Like, he understands a lot. He's a very, very smart dog. He's probably one of the smartest dogs that I've ever had. We didn't even teach him how to like go outside or anything like that. He taught himself. Like, he paws at our legs to tell us that he has to go out. We didn't teach him that. I don't know how the fuck he figured that out, but what are we doing over there? Huh? Atta boy. Alright guys, chest and shoulders today. We start out with a machine press, which my bicep tendonitis has been fucking with me for several weeks now. So I can't really do any full range presses. Dumbbells are out. Like, I tried to do incline presses last week. I literally couldn't even get a 40-pound dumbbell off my chest on the incline without severe pain. So you can see my grip is kind of like in between the neutral and overhand, and that's pretty much how I have to do this to not feel the pain in my bicep tendon. So I'll go straight to failure. As soon as I hit positive failure, I'll just fucking stop there and move on. So 4 sets here, and then moving on to the dip machine. Again, if you look at my dip, my hands spacing as well as my elbows, flaring the elbows out will hit the pecs more than hitting the triceps, which that's what we're trying to do here. I love this machine. It's smooth, and it has a different specific feel to it that a lot of the other dip machines don't have. But you can see as I start to hit failure, again, positive failure and done. 4 sets here, 10 to 12 reps. Moving on, now this one's a little bit of a variation on the flat press. You can see the range of motion is very, very small, but I actually put my hand on my pec to feel the contractions. It's a very, very short range of motion, which doesn't bother my bicep tendon like that, but it really, really gets a good contraction of the muscle, and it's just an alternative exercise when you're fucked up to not feel any pain in there and cause any more inflammation than you already have, which at this point, I want to be as pain-free as I possibly can be. From there, we're going to be moving on to cable fly presses. So it's like a cable crossover mixed with a press. Again, training heavy. So it's not light, high reps. It is heavier. It's in between a fly and a press. That's why it's called a fly press. But you'll see that I start to hit failure. Like, I can literally feel the strands start to pull apart as I go to squeeze the hands together. And that's when I know, okay, that's just about failure, even though I can barely move it again. I can probably get one more, but once those fibers stretch out like that, that's it. Call it a day. From there, we're going to move on to I did 2 delta exercises. So side laterals, very high reps on the machine. This sometimes does bother my bicep tendonitis, just the weird range of motion that it is, the way it locks your body in. Then I did rear delts with cables. So I do 1 high day. Usually Tuesdays will be my high rep day. And then Fridays, I'll actually train shoulders very heavy with an 8 to 10 rep range with anywhere from 4 to 6 exercises, depending on, you know, where I'm feeling at that point. So I'll have 2 delt days a week because I'm not doing any kind of presses anymore. So it's all isolation movements at that point. All right, guys, that was a pretty good workout. And man, it's hard when you launch into a prep like that and you literally are on low, they call them poverty calories, probably eating like 2,000 calories a day, maybe a little bit less. Plus the cardio when you're putting in puts you in a negative state. You know, and the weight training took about maybe 65 minutes, 75 minutes around there today, plus 40 minutes of cardio afterwards. And I'm fucking fried. You know, I did do abs today too, which I do abs pretty much every day. A few sets of rope crunches now that I don't squat. So right behind the camera is the sushi place called Arigato, which is down the street. I went tanning afterwards too, so now it's been probably a good hour since I finished working out. No, maybe a good hour and a half since I finished working out, so I haven't had any food. I've had those 2 meals this morning, and this is probably going to be my biggest meal of the day. I'm very flexible dieting right now, which is, again, not normal for me, but I'm trying a lot to let the prep dictate my life this time. I know what I got to do. I know what I got to get done. I'm not trying to gain any muscle. I'm just trying to tighten up and get that done. So I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to go grocery shopping. I got to get some stuff for Erin. I usually do the shopping because she gets out of work a little bit later on Tuesday. It's a call day. and get home and get back to work on the computer. So that wraps up the day, guys. This wind is probably going to pick up on the mic, so if this is interesting to you guys. Bio3 and I approve this message, guys, and we are out.